Welcome to Cult Fiction, where four grown-ass nerds talk about the stories and the comics and the movies that they love. And if you enjoy our podcast, you might also be a grown-ass nerd. We actually have Bueller today. We had thought that he wasn't going to join us, but he may have to leave at some point, so
May leave abruptly, so I
may leave
apologize.
abruptly. So we'll see. Today we're going to be talking about season 2 of X-Men '97. The first four episodes of it are out right now. I've only seen the first three. I haven't
I'm,
actually
I'm,
watched the
I'm
fourth one
afraid.
yet.
Okay.
Okay.
I've seen all four.
So Eric has seen all four.
Eric's going to spoil it for us.
So I actually would like Eric to kick us off. There may be some spoilers in here, but just to give everybody an idea of where the story is at, I think he's the best one to summarize it, and then you can pass the torch when you're done, sir. Hit it up.
So one of the things, and I want you to keep an eye out for in episode 4 is an Easter egg because the voice actor who plays Ramen Tut is Q from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Nice. Nice.
And so there is a Q Easter egg in episode 4, and I'll see if you
Okay.
guys catch it. So
Oh, okay.
kind of like how you were telling me about the burrows and like keep an eye on episode 2 and stuff. So
Right.
um yeah, so I I think that this when the guy who got fired after, just before season 1 came out, like when he did his whole synopsis for the first two seasons, I think this was obviously before the actor that got let go for playing Kang got let go.
Okay. Right.
I do think that this has been in the works for a couple years, and that this was probably supposed to lead into
Gang.
Kang.
Right.
Yeah, and now it's not because the guy got fired. And you can have I think it was a little bit rash. I think it was a little bit quick.
Right.
You know, but what do you do?
Whatever.
You
What do you
know,
do?
what do you do? So
Wait, you
my
think
biggest hang
wait, I'm curious. You think who getting fired was quick and rash?
the guy who played Kang.
Okay. I
I
wasn't sure if
think
you're talking about the X-Men guy or Kang.
I mean both. I mean both really. I understand the reasons for both, but also, it's like, you have to pull the trigger so quick. I mean, let's see if it dies down. Let's see
I
if,
So regardless of what happened, we can table that for a second. Regardless of what happened with either one of those people, I do think companies they're being way too quick to pull the trigger on any of
yeah,
these situations. Nobody wants to let things play out like it should.
yeah,
There's no
right.
innocent until proven guilty in the
Right.
entertainment industry anymore,
It's
and
not a thing.
that's
Right.
frustrating. That's really
The
frustrating.
the frustrating thing for me is that every time that happens, when somebody gets shit canned as soon as an accusation comes out, it makes the accusations the more powerful. Like it gives more power to the people that make accusations.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting and saying, okay, this is a serious accusation. We need to see if this is true, and if true, you're out of here, buddy.
Right.
But
Right.
we at least need to have some bare assumption of innocence, like at some level. I don't know. I just think
I
otherwise
think
you're giving all the power to the people who are going to make the
Yeah,
accusations.
because I think you can put a pause on things until you know exactly what's going on. If I can give a quick example from my previous line of work, we had a band come through the Central Valley area, and there was a teenage girl who took her younger brother to their show, and she disappeared after the show.
Hmm.
And brother couldn't get a hold of her. Brother freaks out. Brother calls mom. Mom can't get a hold of her. Mom freaks out. Finally, they find the girl, and she says she was taken on this. I'm not going to name the band, but she was taken on this band's bus and sexually assaulted.
Hmm.
Well, everybody's freaking out. This band is, and this is before cancel culture really took off, but it was one of those situations where this band was going to get canceled because of this, because that's pretty bad. It's a teenage girl on
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
bus
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
sexually assaulted. However, this band was smart enough to have cameras on all throughout their tour bus. And this girl was on their tour bus, but she was on the tour bus with a group of people. No sexual assault happened, but she ditched her brother and didn't want to get in trouble for it.
Right.
And so to get out of trouble, she threw out a sexual assault.
Right.
And luckily at that point in time, like for the band anyway, uh, people waited until the truth came out, and so the band didn't get canceled. They weren't a big band by any means. They were kind of like a middle of the road band. So it's not like it was super detrimental to their success or anything. But
Right.
it's just one of those things where like you do. That's kind of why we have our system here, innocent until
Right.
guilty. And I don't think the
Right.
entertainment industry wants to deal with that at all.
And I'm not trying to jump to Kang's defense or
Right.
anything. Like I really don't know anything about that, and I don't want to. Like
Yeah.
that's up to the studio to make that decision. But yeah, I do think people are a little trigger happy right now.
Yeah. And to be fair, and I think we all agree, uh, accusations should be taken very seriously.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Very seriously. You should want to look into them to see if they're true.
Right. Yep.
But there has to be a desire to also want to look into them
yep.
Right.
and not just assume that they are true. So accusations should be taken very seriously, and so should any investigation into them. So
All right. That was our
that being
PSA.
said, that being said, my biggest issue is I don't like time travel shit. I don't. It's just not my bag.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
I wish this was just
I love it.
like a cool story, and they're fighting bad guys and all this kind of stuff. But you have basically like it's broken up into three teams that are in three separate parts of reality and time, and they're all doing things that are going to affect each other. And
Right.
they're I don't know. It
I
just
love it. I love it.
it makes it very convoluted.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
I dig that kind of bullshit, man. I love
Do
it.
you?
Timelines.
Okay.
I love timeline stuff. It's
hey, different strokes for different folks, man.
like
I
think
mean, it's not like
cool.
I'm not going to watch it. I'm
Right,
not going to,
right.
It's
I was
just
like,
that.
when they're sending these teams everywhere, I'm like, because I liked the first season, right? I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it, right? It really is a throwback to the original animation, obviously, right? And it's intentionally so. But man, when they started doing like X Factor is fighting X Force and like 3000 BC, I'm like, yes.
And I thought that was cool, like the X Force and the X Factor thing. I wasn't sure about I didn't know Jubilee was so hardcore. But again,
Okay, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Seriously, all she can do is shoot fireworks and cartwheel.
So that's I mean, I can get into this when it's my turn, but yeah,
Yeah.
in the original cartoon, it was just fireworks.
It's just fireworks.
It was
That's
like
it.
Gaslit.
I think there's a part in, and I think it was in season 1 where she learned from like an older version of herself or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That she could like turn the fireworks into like basically little ninja stars and
Okay.
stuff like that and start chucking it around. But like
Just
the fact
horning
that she
in
was
on
like
Gambit a
walking
little
up
bit.
to like
I don't
dudes
know.
with guns, and she was just like, "Watch this," and
And
I'm
she's
like,
all, "Whew."
done. You're done. Like, no, like it's not like you have like healing factor or you're bulletproof and she's just like, what you
No, you threw a firework. You threw some M80s at a guy, and then you cartwheeled out of the way. That's
Yeah.
basically.
I was like,
And
okay,
she rollerblades. And she
Yeah.
rollerblades.
yeah, and
Okay,
she's
all
got
right.
rollerblades.
All
I
right.
was like, okay.
All right.
I mean,
all right.
not the X-Men that I would have thought could take out a bunch of Shield agents,
Right. Right.
or I'm assuming Shield adjacent types.
Whatever.
I not exactly
Minions.
the X-Men I would have
Minions.
chose to be like the
The minion fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, but whatever. I guess that's fine. But we'll go to Bueller and see what because
All right, Bueller.
Obviously, I share a lot of the same sentiments. I don't really like time travel either. But I'm still gonna watch it, like you said. I'm kind of whatever about this whole time travel thing. The one thing that got me, I mean, first off, it's like, would you go back in time and kill baby Hitler? Which is what they're doing because they failed in the
In a picture of baby Hitler, he was really cute.
But this is what they are like, we failed in the future. We have to make sure that the team in the past succeeds. But they kind of ruin that by saying we're already seeing other instances of apocalypse pop up in different timelines. Well, then what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Why don't you go to
Right.
the future? Like, I don't even understand what the point of this.
the absolute and this is again why the what's it called the time travel bothers me is because you've now gone to a time where he is at worst he's a teenager, right?
Yeah.
But you saw the destruction that he can do already, right? There is a point in his life where his mother leaves him to die in the desert. Go there.
Go make sure that happens.
Go there.
Like, just go make sure nobody
Yeah.
interferes.
Like you don't even have to kill him.
No.
You just make sure nobody picks him up.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like that's the thing that is like frustrating about the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, when it's time travel, it's like you went back to a place where he's already able to whoop your entire team.
But
Right.
If you have an issue,
this is where he turns, and we have to fix that.
right? No. Go back to the time where his mom leaves him in the middle of the Sahara Desert.
Yeah. I don't want
You
this
know?
fucking blue-lipped ass kid.
Yeah,
He's not
that's
it.
what it was.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, he was creepy looking. So but it's Magneto, right? Magneto has always he's always had this goal of like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's what I like about kind of the writing of this, though, too, is that you're seeing Magneto's ulterior motives. You know, like yeah, sure, he's one of the X-Men, sure, but he still has his Magneto side to him. So I'm kind of
right,
enjoying that. I do like how Marvel, I mean Disney, but Marvel's kind of poking fun at itself with all the X teams that came out in the 90s because now we have all of them on screen, and like
Right.
one is like a government agency that's doing like good things, but they're not doing good things. And one is like a super sub-covert agency
Yeah.
that's also
Then like
doing good things,
murders
but not
people, like
the
will straight
exact
up
opposite.
kill.
They're the exact, yeah. But both of them are doing good and not doing good at the same time. Like
Yeah.
the ideals are both there, but we need the X-Men for balance. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's like they're poking fun at themselves, and I can really enjoy that. The thing with Jubilee, I heard she was going to be a big focus this season. And I think the whole power thing, and this is kind of racist because I mean she's Asian and they gave her fireworks powers, but so like well, I mean fireworks came from what, China, right?
Yeah, I mean fair. I mean, I guess.
China invented gunpowder.
Yeah, they did.
Fair game.
I mean,
Fair game.
have you ever seen Mulan, dude? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so I think what happened is she's able not it's not just like the bright lights and like the distraction of the fireworks. Now she has the power of the explosiveness behind those fireworks. And it's a little bit different from Gambit, like you were saying, because Gambit, he harnesses the kinetic energy inside I think it's non-biological things.
Right.
Mhm.
And so it's kind of the same and kind of different. So I understand what you're saying there. But I felt like she was just more like Dazzler for a really long time. And now that they're kind of
Mm.
this explosiveness in her powers, like I can kind of dig it. I mean, they're still making her a kid. She's rollerblading and doing all kinds of acrobatics and stuff. And I'm like, okay. I mean,
Yeah.
cool.
It was cool.
Well,
It was cool to see Storm summon up a solar storm.
yeah.
Anybody else get a
Yeah,
chubby?
dude,
I kind of got a
like
semi
Storm,
from that.
dude, Storm's hardcore. Like if you go back to like episode 1 of the first season of 97, dude,
Mhm.
when she's like walking and the storm's brewing around her. I mean, that's
Oh, dude, with the
that's an
Sentinels and
intro
everything.
moment,
Yeah.
you
Hell yeah.
know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like, okay, Jubilee, like, it's fun to see what they're doing with Jubilee and all, but I'm not a big
Right.
Jubilee fan. I didn't know anything about Sunspot, and I really feel like this guy's powers are kind of underrated. I think
Mhm.
Sunspot could be like a really big thing. And
Sure.
before I pass the torch, it is fun to see like Polaris, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Is it Havoc that's the leader of X Factor?
Yeah.
Calling
Yeah.
him what, Timu Cyclops?
Right.
I laughed, dude. I thought it was fantastic, dude. So like I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it. And with that said, I'll pass the torch to Alex.
I mean, yeah, I kind of agree with Eric about the time travel thing, but I'm sort of in the middle between him and Jubal, where it's like it's sort of a tired trope, but it's kind of like I do like it if they do something interesting with it, but it's just sort of like I don't want them to just do the same thing, where it's just sort of
Right.
like, you try to avert, your destiny, but by doing that, you actually fulfill it, that whole thing. And it's just
Yeah.
but whatever. I mean, you can't be too choosy about storylines in comic books and everything. So it's just, it's one of those things where it's just like, if this is something that you're going to watch, I don't see how it's not going to hit all the bases for it. I mean,
Right.
like, I don't honestly know if I'd even watch it if I didn't have a podcast dedicated to stuff like this. But it's sort of like, it's fun to watch and like, kind of channel your inner child, because I still remember getting up at like, I had to get up at 7:30 a.m., every Saturday morning to come out. And I remember I would videotape all the episodes like on VHS. Remember those? So you'd have the entire for like, weeks and weeks and weeks, and then your dad would take a football game over it, and it would just be like, so now I have them on here forever. So yeah, it's striking that sort of what do you call it? nostalgia itch,
Yeah.
and it's sort of like, I don't know how invested I'm actually going to be in the story as a whole, but as far as the characters they're dealing with in the storyline, they respect everything. They respect all the characters in the storyline. They're not doing any sort of like meta deconstruction of anything. They're just presenting X-Men, and X-Force and all these characters. So it's just sort of like, yeah, it's fun. I don't know like I said, how invested I'm going to be in it, but I can't say that I'm disappointed. I don't
Right.
think anybody
Yeah,
would be.
I'll say this. We're in a sense a little bit doing a disservice by only going over the first three
Okay.
because the fourth blows it
Yeah.
open.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
so,
Well,
and on that note, I'm not going to say I lost interest because that would not be fair because I'm still going to watch it. I'm still very interested in the story. But like when they killed my boy, when they killed Gambit, I was like, fuck this show.
yeah.
Like
So
when they killed this guy, I was like, fuck this show. But I know he's coming back as Death. Like I know that's
spoiler. Like I thought he was dead.
I haven't seen it.
Well, we all
The comic
assume.
was
We
dead.
assume, yeah. That's
So-
the assumption.
So I know he's coming back as Death, and I know that's going to be a really cool story arc for me as a big Gambit nerd. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's like I'm not going to say I'm hate watching the show because I'm enjoying it. But yeah, man, I can't wait. I want to watch episode 4 tonight, probably after this.
yeah, I'll watch it after this. I think Alex is right. It's in a word, it's nostalgia. I watched these 3 episodes. I got a big old bowl of cereal and ate cereal while I was watching them, and really added to the texture of the story. As I was eating some Lucky Charms, I'm like, yeah. So
I can see
also,
you like I see it in Big Daddy when Adam Sandler's like got the milk dripping off his face.
hell yes. There's so many X-Men in this series already.
Yeah, that's true.
The episode with Jubilee where she's on the ship, there was an X-Man that was like a jelly baby with like a skeleton in him. What the hell was that? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Was
Jelly
he
baby
in
X-Men? Was he in
What's that?
Genosha?
He was on Genosha, yeah.
Was he? I don't know, but I must have missed him because I was like, "Whoa, what the hell is that freaking jelly baby?"
Jelly baby.
And then the little baby X-Man that was creepy
Yeah.
in the corner. I was like, "Okay, that's weird." So whatever. I'm digging it. We'll definitely do an episode when they're all out and talk about the completion of season 2. For now, it's like if you had any love.
Just FYI, like my cup is Gambit. Like I'm a Gambit dork.
He's a huge
That's one
Gambit
of
nerd.
47 Gambit cups that he
That's
owns.
right. If you like X-Men, if you like Saturday morning cartoons, if you're just in the mood to see a bunch of X-Men, like this show, I think it delivers. I think it's a lot of fun. So that said, we've got some Thunderdomes to do, and I don't exactly know how we're going to structure this because we didn't know that we were going to have Bueller. So I did one for Alex. Alex did one for Eric. Eric did one for me. But Joe's got some in his hip pocket.
I'm just gonna do a bonus, and I'll be last.
Okay. Who wants to go first? Eric, hit
first.
it up.
Okay, this is for Jubal.
Oh, this is for me. Me. All right.
Yes, this is for Jubal. Okay. Jubal, you have. This is a Thunderdome of great movie quotes.
Yes.
All right.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
So what are we looking for? Are we looking for like most
whatever you
substantial
decide.
quotes?
So whatever you decide.
Most meaningful,
best, stood the test of time.
The one that made me pump my fist the hardest.
The
punch you in the
ones that
dick.
get quoted the most.
Okay,
It's whatever
all
you
right.
want it to be. Okay?
Okay.
First one. My biological clock is ticking like this. Versus, they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom.
So the thing, William Wallace, has always been a character that's close to my heart. That was a very important. I loved My Cousin Vinny though, and that was a great quote. But yeah, I'm gonna go with William Wallace.
Just coming up and swinging.
William Wallace versus "Thou shalt not pass."
So Gandalf on the bridge, which has become like part of culture now, right?
Yeah, it's kind of almost a meme.
That's a huge quote, and it was so meaningful in the movie. Got to go with that.
Okay. So Thou Shall Not Pass versus Toto. I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Wow. Okay, so we're going in the Wayback Machine.
These are some of the
Um,
greatest quotes
People
in
some of the
still
movie
quote
greatest
it
history.
quotes.
today,
All
man.
right. So I'm gonna stick with Gandalf. Yes, the Toto quote is also part of culture, et cetera, et cetera. I just enjoyed Lord of the Rings more.
Okay. Go ahead. Make my day.
Dirty
Versus
Harry
Thou Shall Not
versus
Pass.
Thou Shall Not Pass.
It's like the
Okay, so
same quote.
it's very similar.
It's
It's
the
very
same
similar.
picture. It's the same picture.
The reason I'm going to go with Clint Eastwood
Hmm.
is because that quote made his career, right?
Okay.
It's like that he like became that quote at that point. You know what I mean? Like he lived in that quote.
I think it certainly made his it allowed him to separate himself from just the Westerns.
Right.
Like now he
Yes.
could do other things.
That's what I mean. It's like
You know, yeah.
he was this big spaghetti Western star, but now he's got a 44 Magnum in your face.
Now he
He's
can do
the
In the Line of Fire or
right.
something like that,
And
you
that
know.
also opened up the door to all the like gritty cop, you know, like he's a loose cannon, but damn it, he gets results. You know, that whole
Yeah.
like whole genre. So yeah, we're gonna go with Make My Day.
Okay, go ahead, Make My Day versus May the Force Be With You.
Okay.
Ooh. Ooh.
Wow, really? Um, okay. So you have to go with then May the Force Be With You, right?
Okay.
You have to go with that because that entire what were you gonna say, Alex?
I guess we're assuming from Obi-Wan.
Yes.
But there are a lot of people who said May the Force Be With
Right.
You,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But yeah, the original was May the Force Be With You from Obi-Wan. Yoda said it, like there's a lot of people who said it. But yeah, that was the entire Star Wars universe is wrapped up in that quote. So I got to go with that.
Okay. May the Force Be With You versus You Can't Handle the Truth.
Maybe the most overplayed quote in the history of quotes. Because first of all, you're talking to Jack Nicholson, right? Like this guy, and he's talking to Tom Cruise. He's like, you can't handle the truth. Both of these guys are fully capable of handling the truth. So your quote is not correct. But it was a good quote. But
Yeah.
I think it was overused. So I'm gonna stick with May the Force be with you.
Okay. May the Force Be With You versus I have come here to chew bubble gum and kick ass. And
And
I'm
I'm
all out
all
of
out of
bubble gum.
gum.
Dude, I know what the last one's gonna be, and this is gonna be a tough one.
So we have established from a previous Thunderdome list that They Live was my favorite. I think my favorite, at least one of my favorite examples of science fiction in the history of moviedom. Right? I thought it was a great movie. I thought Roddy Piper did such a good job, like a surprisingly good job in that movie. It was a great quote, but nobody's ever seen it, so I have to stick with May the Force be with you.
Okay.
Let me ask this, Eric, real quick, because you're the wrestling aficionado here. Was Roddy Piper possibly the first like successful pro wrestler to transition over to like I know he didn't do a lot of movies, but like to have like a movie that was successful?
I mean, he did this and he did
Yeah, I would
Welcome to
say,
Frogtown.
yeah, I mean, you could make an
Hmm.
argument of, Rocky 3 with Hogan.
Oh,
And of
okay,
course that was like before he was Hogan, Hulk Hogan, like
yeah.
really.
Okay.
Um,
I didn't know
and
the
then
timeline of those two movies, so okay.
yeah, I would say They Live was and it was a starring role, right? Hogan was
Right.
just like a cameo. And then if you compare Hogan's starring roles, which were like
No holds barred.
um No Holds Barred,
Right.
Didn't he do
Mr.
like a
Nanny or
nanny one?
something
Yeah,
like
nanny.
that.
Yeah, nanny.
Yeah. And he did another one where Suburban Commando,
Yeah, they just
none of
didn't.
those were as good as They Live. You know what I
Right.
mean? I
Yeah.
mean, in a campy way, they like in a Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of way. If you
Sure,
didn't watch
sure.
them,
But I thought Roddy Piper did
I think
like
Piper was,
a
yeah,
legit good job, and he was I think that was the first pro
Still
wrestler.
yeah, I
considered the
think it might
best
have been,
fight scene, the most realistic fight scene in a movie of all
yeah,
time. So
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So now we have we have no, sorry.
May the force
May
be
the
with
Force
you.
be with you versus I'll be back.
I knew that was coming. I knew it. I synced it.
Yeah, again, a character-defining quote, something that became part of culture. I don't know how you're going to get me off the force, though.
Oh,
It's
crazy.
Okay.
It's tough.
I don't know how you're
Okay,
going to do
so
it.
here's the last one.
Okay.
May the Force be with you versus Bond, James Bond.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh, you went with his weakness. You went with his weakness.
so now you're making me pick between Star Wars and James Bond, right? Ultimately. So, and I'll probably end up picking James Bond, right? James Bond is ubiquitous, and it's been ubiquitous for generations, and yeah, I'll go with James Bond.
Okay, Bond, James Bond.
Can I ask you this? Let me ask you a question, Jubal. If the quote from Bond would have been "shaken, not stirred,"
That's a good question, because if it was shaken not stirred, I probably wouldn't.
okay,
I would
Yeah.
say I would have been like, that's good, but it was only in like one or two.
Because Shaken Not Stirred didn't survive till there was Daniel Craig.
Exactly,
He was like,
yeah.
No, matter of fact,
give it to
Daniel Craig, when they asked if he wanted to shake it or stir it, he said like something like, "I don't fucking care."
Yeah, he's like, I don't care. It's like they threw it away. But James Bond has been in every movie. So that's yeah. Yep, good one. All right. That's the one I'm picking. Who's up
Okay.
next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
So I got one for Eric
Okay.
and best 80s action scene.
Ooh, best 80s action scene. Ooh, shit. Okay.
Wow.
First pick. You got the Terminator assault on the police precinct versus Indiana Jones truck chase. Indiana Jones.
The truck
and the Raiders
chase
of the Lost Ark.
where he hits the guy on the motorcycle. Is all.
Starts off on a horse, gets out of the truck.
Yeah, dude, that's good.
That's the scene. Isn't that the scene where you shoot 3 people at once with the Luger? He's like, pulls it out.
Yeah.
I am gonna go Terminator, just because that scene starts with "I'll be back."
Right.
True.
That was such a
True.
gnarly scene.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of segues kind of nicely into your quote.
Yeah, he leaves and then comes back with the truck and like slams the truck through the front, and then he starts his massacre.
The next one, Terminator Police Assault, actually, and now we have Arnold versus Arnold. So we have Terminator Police Assault versus Commando Mall Shootout.
Speaking of which, I'll be back.
Uh-oh.
Okay, dude. So I love Commando.
Anytime, anywhere, any place.
Because when it came out, it was like my favorite action star and my childhood crush. Because Alyssa Milano was like a year, like 2 years older than me or something like that.
Right.
So like when it came out, it was just like, oh, she's amazing, you know, and he's so strong and dope and like. But I have to go Terminator.
Yeah. And I remember too, like Commando was like so hardcore for the time. Remember when you were like
at the time
5 or 6 when it came out? It was just like there was nothing more hardcore than that movie. You watch it
and
now,
it starts with him like holding the log with his giant bicep, and and then in the other hand he's got a chainsaw, and you're just like, this is the manliest man to ever man.
He's like, I'll eat in a phone booth, I'll just lift the entire booth up.
Right.
That's right.
I'm like 8 years old at the time, going, this is the best movie ever created.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, now Terminator Police Assault versus Die Hard Nakatomi Rooftop Explosion.
Ooh, that was when he grabs the hose and like jumps off the side. Oh man,
that was the window. Hose dropped.
I'm still gonna go with Terminator. In Die Hard, maybe the one where like he ends up shooting the guy from underneath the desk.
Right.
That scene, and they break all the glass, and he ends up with the broken glass in his foot. That might have had a chance, you know. But I'm gonna go Terminator.
Fair enough. So now we're still on Terminator Police Assault. So now it's up against Predator, Dutch versus the Jungle Hunter, final battle.
Yeah, gotta go Predator. I mean, Predator is just
Because yeah, that
Um,
That
whole
was
last 15 minutes is basically just
Yeah.
cat and mouse.
yeah. I feel like Predator is one of, you know, I think it's tough to make a perfect action film, you know, that
Mhm.
because, people want different things from action films. They're like, oh, I want the story to be riveted. Some people are like, I don't give a shit about the story. Just give me action.
right.
I don't know, man. I think Predator
I
is
think
Predator's
Predator is
pretty
like
damn
one of those.
close.
Predator is like the perfect blend of so many different things, a mashup.
Yeah.
Because you have action, you have sci-fi, you have
Yeah.
horror, and it's just all these things together just and they fit perfectly and they make
Right.
Yeah.
Is it a perfect movie? Maybe not, but it's a perfect mashup of different
Right.
Yeah.
and styles. It's like
It's a
peanut butter and
spicy
jelly.
blend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're at Predator, Dutch and the Hunter Jungle Battle versus Lethal Weapon, Riggs versus Mr. Joshua.
Okay, so now you're going a Predator, which is close to a perfect movie, to Lethal Weapon, which might be a perfect movie.
That was the kickboxing fight on the lawn with the sprinkler going, right?
Yeah, where he
Yeah.
busted out the arm,
And
like
beat him with a
the
triangle.
triangle, which was like
Nobody had seen
15
that
years
before.
ahead
Yeah,
of,
nobody had seen that before.
certainly like 10 years ahead of its time, you know?
Right.
Um, yeah, Lethal Weapon versus Predator. So I feel like I'm gonna
Damn.
betray something by going against it.
If
I'm
gotta
still
amputate a
I'm gonna
foot
go
or a
Predator.
hand.
I'm gonna go Predator. That's a tough one. I'm gonna
Predator
go
retains
Predator.
it. Okay. So now we have Predator, Dutch versus Hunter. Now First Blood, the jail escape.
First
First
Blood.
blood.
First Blood jail escape.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That was a long
Breaks out of the
scene.
jail, goes out, and ends
Yeah.
with him, killing a dude with a rock and a helicopter and jumping off the
Right.
cliff.
That was like a long scene too.
Yeah. I'm still gonna go Predator.
Okay. All right.
Still Predator? So,
Yeah.
Not surprised. So now, and this was like, didn't plan this, but here we go. So we have Predator, Dutch versus Jungle Hunter. They Live, Rowdy Piper versus Keith David, Indiana. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm still gonna go Predator.
Okay.
But if anybody went with They Live, I couldn't hate on them.
Yeah,
So
that's like so long fight scene too.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you
it
ever-
is.
If you ever go back and watch it, like it's longer than you remember.
Yeah.
So still on Predator. Predator final battle. Now we have the Road Warrior Tanker Chase at the end of the movie.
Oh.
Still Predator for me.
Really, like no hesitation
Just
whatsoever.
no
hesitation.
hesitation.
Wow.
No
Okay,
hesitation.
that scene, that whole scene, the whole battle, like one of the most epic chase sequences.
It was. That tanker
Yeah.
battle was crazy good.
Now, if you had said, Mad Max versus Master Blaster, and
What about the Furiosa chase?
yeah, the whole movie's a chase.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
the
know,
final.
Movie's a chase.
Pretty much.
It is.
It really
is.
is.
Predator Dutch versus Hunter is still going strong. It's going to now go up against aliens. They're coming out of the walls.
Ooh.
Uh,
Oh.
Oh man. That was when they wipe out the whole squad, right?
Yeah, basically, like they go back, they don't
What's
know
her
there's
name?
anything
And
there.
what's her name?
They
Vasquez
think
is
they
like,
find the citizen.
Let's rock. Let's rock. Yep.
Let's rock.
I have to go with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one, man. That's like one of the most iconic scenes of the entire 80s, I think.
Yeah.
So now, okay,
God.
final battle.
Okay.
Aliens, they're coming out of the walls. RoboCop steel meal finale.
I'm gonna go Aliens. I'm gonna go
Touch me,
Aliens.
man.
Help me.
It just splats.
That was just like
Oh.
that was the best thing that could have happened to him at that point.
Yeah, that's true. That was merciful. That was
It
merciful.
was. It was.
Yeah,
So did you pick one?
I'm gonna go Aliens.
Aliens.
Right? So aliens, they're coming out of the walls. Is Eric's best 80s action scene. I can't say I disagree.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal scene.
Hard fought, but yeah, I can't disagree with that being the champ.
That was a solid one. Okay, I've got one for Alex. So there's some nuance here. All right. What I want you to do is I want you to imagine you're watching a movie you've never seen before, you've never heard of.
Like a role-playing Thunderdome. Okay. I've gone to a movie I've never heard of.
You've never seen this
Going in
movie
blind.
before, going in blind, you don't know anything about this movie, all right? Which of these directors do you think you would most likely be able to identify as the director of the movie without knowing that they directed it?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quentin Tarantino.
First choice.
We'll see.
First choice. Michael Bay versus James Cameron.
Oh,
That's actually an interesting matchup. Yeah. I would say, like, if you mean somebody's going to ask me, like, after the movie,
Yeah, who directed that movie, and your confidence level that you would be able to tell them correctly who the director was.
I would think I would be able to pick out James Cameron or
James
more
Cameron.
identifiable than Michael Mann.
All right.
wow. All right. Okay.
James Cameron versus Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because if the idea is, can I pick them out? I feel like, I mean, Steven Soderbergh is a lot more subtle sometimes. So I feel like James Cameron is probably going to be more identifiable. He always has this sort of, what do you call it? He generally has this
Flourishes. His
Yeah,
flourishes. Yeah.
Not always sci-fi, but like when he's not sci-fi, he just kind of, he does summer tentpole stuff so perfectly. So
Okay. All right. James Cameron versus Guillermo del Toro.
Hmm.
okay, that is pretty interesting. Hmm. So the idea is they would ask me who I think directed it, or would they give me like do you think so and so directed it versus so and so?
Just they ask you who directed it, you have to just pull it. You have to pull it, right?
I'm gonna go with Del Toro.
Okay. Guillermo del Toro.
I think, yeah.
Guillermo del Toro versus Tony Scott.
Del Toro.
Okay.
Unless the only thing would be if it was like Tony Scott era, like Man on Fire and Domino, where like everything was just so like schizophrenic and jittery, and
Right.
if he did it in that same style, it would be easy to identify him. But other than that, yeah, I would say Del Toro would still take it.
Okay. Del Toro versus Guy Ritchie.
Oh.
That's a tough one.
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember the last Guy Ritchie movie I saw, but it's been a while. But he does have his own kind of style.
Probably the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, I think.
Yeah, that would
The
be
last
it.
one I saw.
He also has that TV show on with Tom Holland. Not Tom Holland.
He directed that one?
Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he did? Oh.
What's the Tom?
It's not him
Hardy
because you didn't
show?
notice.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I would say that's tough because I'm a big fan of Del Toro, so I've watched most of his movies like multiple times. Oh, I think I would probably be able to identify Richie more.
Okay.
I think just he has it's not necessarily a unique style and that fast, kind of
Sure.
cut, but he does it himself. He does it his own Guy Ritchie way,
All right. Little aperitif here. We're going to see Guy Ritchie versus Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, it would be Ritchie. Like,
Okay.
I'd be able to pick him out, I think.
Guy Ritchie. Okay.
A bit more overt.
Now let's see. We got the final three. We're going to see how many times it turns over during the final three. Guy Ritchie versus Quentin Tarantino.
I did say like Tarantino right away, but you know what? I feel like Ritchie is pretty identifiable. I do think the soundtrack is more likely to give Tarantino away, so I'm gonna go with Tarantino.
Okay. Tarantino versus Tim Burton.
Well, that's kind of interesting. Because Tim Burton has done not just like dark gothic, movies
Sure.
before, you know what I
Yep.
mean? So he is capable of stepping outside the sort of format that he's well known for. But because he has kind of a signature, I'm gonna go with Tim Burton.
Okay. Last one. Tim Burton versus the Coen brothers.
Okay. I would say, I was gonna say my immediate thought was it wouldn't be the Coen brothers because they're so subtle, but I think once you have a couple of characters talking to each other, kind of like Tarantino, when you have like
Right.
Tarantino characters talk to each other, you can kind of identify if the Coen brothers when their characters talk to each other. It's not the same as
It's
Tarantino,
not.
but it's like they have that same sort of identifiable quality of that sense. Oh man. And then but yeah, no, they could be doing a comedy, they could be doing a drama, they could be doing a crime, you know? I don't know. So it's just sort of like I'll say this. I like the Coen brothers more, but I'm gonna say that Tim Burton is more identifiable.
Identifiable. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I probably would end up agreeing with you. Like you can spot a Tim Burton movie pretty much easier than you could spot anybody else's movies. I think Joe and Eric were bored by that list.
No, I was kind of entertained because I would have had Michael Bay. I honestly might have had Michael Bay winning it because he's got some very Michael Bay shots that he puts in all of his
Sure.
movies.
Yeah, the
And
explosion with tanks coming out.
dude, the fucking explosions with the fireworks pisses me off. I fucking hate it. I can't stand it. I really can't stand it. But also the spinning shots going around the
Right.
actors when they're like standing up and looking and they have the camera
Right.
going around them. Like that's such a Michael Bay technique. Now, if you showed me like Michael Bay's first two movies, I might be like, I don't know who this is. But
Right.
I mean, he did it in Transformers, he did it in Bad Boys, he's done it so many times. So I might have had Michael Bay all the way up until Guillermo del Toro. That would
Yeah,
have been
for me, it was Guillermo del Toro, I think.
yeah.
Right.
So that would have been a tough one, but I think I would have picked Guillermo over Michael Bay. And then it would have been a tough one with Tarantino, but definitely Burton
Right.
would have probably won out in the end for me. So it was a good list, man. I wasn't bored by it at all. I was actually
Good. All right.
Uh,
I hope you like that, Alex. I thought of you the whole time I was making it.
That's pretty interesting.
All right, what do you got, Joe?
so I struggled with this one because I didn't know who to give it to, but ultimately I feel like I know who Eric and Jubal would pick to win this. And I think there are two different movies, and I think I know who would pick what. I don't know who Alex would pick to win this, and the more I think about it, the more I think he's actually going to pick one of these two to win it and not a third option. So I'm curious to see what he does pick.
All right, shoot me a text.
I didn't. I did this last minute because I didn't know I was going to be on here, so this is not as thought out as well as your guys's.
It's all right. Shoot me a text with your prediction. We'll see if you're right.
Okay, so I'm gonna text Jubal right now, but the category is John Candy movies. Okay, and again, like I really thought about giving, I thought about giving this to each of you, but because I don't think I know what Alex is going to pick, I'm going to give it to him. So I'm going to text. Let me give
You know what,
me.
Jubal? In your head, do which one would win for you, and I'll do the same, and we'll say at the end which one would win.
Okay, fair enough.
And I also think I'm going to send my prediction for Alex. And I see Jubal taking a breath, like he's like, "Nope, you're already wrong," and that's fine. But I think I'm still close. I think I'm still
Okay,
close.
all right.
And I'm gonna go with the. I think this is there's a couple toss-ups in here. I'm sorry, not toss-ups, but like easy, like get off the list type things. So we'll go easy here, going with Splash versus Canadian Bacon.
Gonna go with Splash.
Splash.
Canadian Bacon only seen once.
Okay.
Born in the USA.
I think that was the first naked butt I ever saw on like regular TV, dude.
On Splash, yeah, might have been me too. Yeah,
Dude, I was so excited. Naked butt.
Wasn't there side boob in that movie too?
I'm sure. I'm positive. Yeah, I think the first boobies I saw was like on Revenge of the Nerds on USA at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go Splash against Only the Lonely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Splash.
Splash.
Even though like John Candy's not a prominent guy, I'm definitely gonna
That's fair. Like I said, this is a last minute list. This one might be good. Splash versus Who's Harry Crump?
I actually think Who's Harry Crumb is kind of underrated.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
But you know what? I haven't seen it in so long, so I can't tell you how long. I'm still gonna give Splash routines for now.
Because
But
you
I
watched
kind of want to
Splash
go back
last
and
week.
watch Harry Crumb now.
You
Harry
watched
Crumb.
Splash last week for Daryl Hannah's butt.
That's right. Harry Crumb had some Bonnie Tyler at the end of that movie, if you guys remember. I need a hero.
He just passed away.
Oh, is that right? I didn't
Oh,
even
passed
know
away.
that. I didn't even know
75 years
that.
old. Just passed
Damn.
away. Yeah.
Damn.
All right, so we're gonna keep Splash going. This is a tough one. This one's not a tough one, but it's gonna get tough. Splash versus Summer Rental.
I barely remember that one.
I don't even remember that at all.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe I saw it, but it would have been only once. I got to go with Splash
Gotta
just
go with
because I
Splash.
remember it.
Gotta go with Splash. Now it gets tough. Now it gets
Gloves come off.
we're gonna go Splash versus Cool Runnings.
Ooh,
Cool
Cool
Runnings is a
Runnings.
legit good
I'm
movie.
not dead yet.
Cool Runnings is a legit
Cool Runnings
good
was
movie.
great, dude.
Cool
That was a
Runnings
great
was
movie.
awesome.
I would say Cool Runnings. Yeah.
Cool Runnings, honestly, honest to God, made me like that was the first time I ever cried at camaraderie. And it was so dumb because I was such a little kid. But when they lifted up that goddamn bomb sled at the end and carried it out, I'm not dead yet. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So stupid. So we're going with Cool Runnings? All right, man. This is like the championship brackets here. Cool Runnings going up against the Great Outdoors.
Yeah. I'm gonna still give it to Cool Running.
Wow.
But I
Okay.
think
All right.
I think it's just a better movie. Even though I think a lot of people might find Great Outdoors funnier, like a childish, sophomore way. But Cool Runnings is just a better movie.
All right. Cool Runnings will now take on Uncle Buck.
Yeah, it had to come eventually, didn't it?
Had to come eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, I would even still say the Cool Runnings. You know what? I'd go say Cool Runnings is a better movie than Uncle Buck, and I don't even know if I can go that far. But I am picking Uncle Buck.
Okay. All right. Let's not get crazy now.
Yeah, let's.
No, I'm picking Uncle Buck.
Okay.
Cool Runnings. Yeah,
Cool Runnings is a great movie, but we're talking about John Candy.
we are. Yes.
Yeah.
So Uncle Buck, but Cool Runnings is damn good.
It is damn good.
All right. And for the final championship bracket here, we have Uncle Buck against, this is my personal favorite. This is why you couldn't do this for me. Going up against Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah, it had to be. It had to happen. It had to
Yeah.
happen. I'm gonna go with Plane, Trains, and Automobiles because there's actually like a really, really, truly heartfelt performance from John Candy in that movie that I think is
It
really,
is.
really. I don't think it's underrated. I think people realize it and notice it, and I think he had layers of it in Cool Runnings too. But I think Plane, Trains, and Automobiles he really had scenes in that movie that really played dramatically and funny at the same time.
Right.
And he really showed a range that he didn't really have in other movies. Like Cool Runnings, good movie, and John Candy does great in it, but he doesn't really show any like real drama the way he does in Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, which is just an all-around great movie. And
It is.
so yeah, Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, hands down.
Right. I didn't see that coming from you. I actually text Jubal. I thought you were going to pick The Great Outdoors. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is my choice, and it would have been tough between that and Cool Runnings, to be honest with you. I picked Great Outdoors for Jubal. I picked Uncle Buck for Eric. Please tell me how wrong I am.
For all the reasons that Alex said, I also would take Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. But there's a depth to Planes, Trains because Alex and I crack jokes at each other all the time based on that movie. Like we both watched it so many times together with
That
our
was one of those
family.
movies that we had on VHS.
Yeah,
with all the commercial breaks and everything.
Right.
We
watched that movie
fast-forwarding through the juicy
like
commercials.
30 times when we were kids, and we're just like, we can do, just the devil shot when he turns into the devil. We go, oh, ha, 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 ha. Like, and we both know exactly what we're talking about. It's like, so Alex and I have a lot of history with that movie, but Uncle
I
Buck is a
literally
close
got people a
second.
T-shirt of Plane Trains Automobiles. Yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah.
Dude, those aren't two pillows will live with me for the rest
yeah,
of my life.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I think if I had to, it probably would be Planes, Trains. But Uncle Buck is like Planes, Trains. Me and my family watch every Thanksgiving now. That's like
Oh,
our
wow.
tradition.
All right. Nice.
But Uncle Buck is a movie that, like, I think you could watch it. It's one of those that's on all the time,
right,
and you could watch it all the time.
right.
Right.
No matter where it picks up in the movie, you could just like sit there and be like,
I
"Oh,
would-
cool. He's flipping over the pancake. Okay,
right.
I missed the first 20 minutes. That's cool.
Doesn't
I'll sit in
matter,
for the
right.
rest." You
I
know,
think
like,
Planes, Trains is a better movie, but Uncle Buck is a funnier movie.
yeah,
I can
Right.
see.
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I can see. it.
The other,
Bigger
the
laughs than Uncle Buck.
a movie that
Although
didn't
Planes,
make
Trains,
the list, that I actually think is one of his better performances too, is Delirious.
Delirious is great.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Delirious is great,
Um,
and Going Berserk.
Yeah.
I was just
And
thinking
then
Berserk.
I just want to say the movie that would have made it all the way to the end before Uncle Buck and Planes Trains would have been Only the Lonely for me.
Yeah.
Because Only Lonely is actually a really good
It
movie.
is good. It is good. But what was the movie he was in with Eugene Levy where they were like security guards?
Oh, Armed and Dangerous?
Armed and
Armed and
Dangerous. That was
Dangerous.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was silly, but it was fun.
That was
Yeah.
silly. Yeah.
But Only the
In
Lonely.
truck, what do you haul it? Rocket fuel.
Only the Lonely was really good, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's really good. It
was.
might be my third or fourth favorite John Candy movie, depending on what I'm looking for. It would probably go back and forth with Delirious, depending on what I'm looking for
Yeah.
at that moment, you know.
I remember
He
I
did.
saw it and I liked it, but I think I haven't seen it. I think since like at least 20 years. But I bet it's
Right.
better now that I'm like more of an
It
adult.
probably is, dude.
Yeah.
I think the older you get, the more you'll like appreciate it and stuff. Um, I still say that whole sitcom Mike and Molly is basically a bite off of it.
Right.
The whole Mike and Molly sitcom with Melissa McCarthy
Yeah, that makes
is
sense.
basically just Only the Lonely.
I never
Like
thought
in
about
a
that. I never thought about that, but that makes
think
sense.
about. I mean, he's a cop, Chicago,
Right.
mother who's unruly and never likes anybody. Dude, the sister is a makeup artist for dead people.
Mm.
Like the lead is in Only the Lonely.
Right.
Like you can't tell me that's a coincidence.
There's a
You know
lot
what I'm
of
saying?
lot of things
Like a
lined
makeup
up.
artist for
Yeah.
dead people?
Yeah.
Look,
Like,
Andrea,
how-
maybe
you
the
know,
executive
To be fair,
producer
I've
is
only
the
seen like
writer
4
of Only the
episodes
Lonely or
of
something.
Mike and Molly. I've only seen 4 episodes of Mike and Molly, and I think I've only seen Only the Lonely one time.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't make that connection, but it makes sense now that you say it.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was good, but Planes, Trains, and Automobiles wins. It's the best one.
Yeah.
I think that's all we've got for today. Yeah.
Yeah.
all I
Next
got.
week we should be having a San Diego Comic-Con prep episode.
That's right. So if you are going to Comic-Con or if you ever want to go to Comic-Con, tune in next week and we will tell you everything that you need to know.
Absolutely.
Take care, everybody.
You guys know a lot about this shit. We're gonna have a special guest that also knows a lot about this
That's
stuff.
right. We are going to have a special guest. That's right.
But I am excited about this Comic-Con for one very specific reason. So we'll unveil that next week.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. See you next time.
Peace.